7 courtroom cases, parents lied, argued, demanded money, and walked in confident. But Judge Vonda B broke every excuse down in seconds.
Rise. Support court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1062, Sanchez case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Sanchez, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, Your Honor. I'm want to sue her for child support because my kids are always with me, and she's always at work. She's always working for the hospital. Yeah, we said back then that we could do this together as one. I went so much as far as swapping complete schedules. I started doing overnight shift now, just so I can be there for my kids and everything. And she was supposed to be working for mornings, which she was, but she volunteered for more hours. And even when she's not at work, she's just never home. I don't know where she is. She doesn't call us. She doesn't call our kids. My kids are always wondering where she's at. And, I myself, sure, she can do what she wants as long as she...
All right, guys, buckle up, because this case starts with a father walking into court asking for help after being left to raise 2 children mostly on his own. He says the mother is rarely home, barely contributes, and one of the children has autism, making the daily responsibility even heavier. But what makes this case explode is not just the financial issue. It's the attitude that comes next. As the judge starts asking questions, the truth begins to surface fast. And once the excuses start rolling in, this courtroom turns into a reality check no one saw coming.
Kids?
I mean,
are you saying your kids are liars?
they could be. I'm not sure.
You're not sure because you're not around that much?
I am around. I just have to work all the time. It's not my fault that, saving lives isn't important to him.
No, I believe it is important to him. I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying that you're not contributing anything.
I am, though. Like, I feed them or sometimes, and
You feed them? You'd agree with me that that's your responsibility, right?
She brings them fast food and leaves again.
Okay, but it's food, though.
But you don't sit there and spend quality time with your kids. You say, here's food, and leave.
The tablet works just fine. They can just eat and watch the tablet. Like, why is that a problem?
Because...
So you want to raise a child off of a tablet? You think that's okay?
They have educational...
Right here, the judge starts testing credibility. When the mother suggests the children could be lying, it instantly damages her position. Courts pay close attention to accountability, especially when children are involved. Then she admits she drops off fast food and leaves them with tablets. That may sound casual, but to a judge, parenting means presence, not just food delivery. Do you think basic needs alone are enough? Or does emotional time matter just as much?
Because I want to spend time with my kids.
I went to overnight his shift.
As he should. He's a dad.
As you should. You're a mom. The audacity.
But I have a more important job.
How many times are you going to say that? You have the audacity to say that he's a dad and he should do these things, but you're the mom and not doing these things. He changed his shift. Why can't you?
Because it's inconvenient to me.
I've actually heard a couple times to where she says, I gave birth to him. It's your job to take care of him.
You believe that?
Yes.
Interesting. Wow. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You are going to financially support these children, and I'm going to make sure of it today. And you may want to look into trying to do a shift change yourself so you can spend some time with the kids. Obviously, I can't court order you or force you to spend time with them, but you should want to spend time with the kids. And
this is a major turning point. The father explains he changed his entire work shift just to be available for the kids. That shows sacrifice, planning, and active parenting, things courts strongly respect. Meanwhile, the mother criticizes him for doing what a dad should do while avoiding her own role. That contradiction is exactly why the judge snaps back. When one parent adjusts everything for the children, excuses from the other side hit differently.
Kids.
I get it, but it's too much work having a kid with autism. That's why I just leave it to him, because he's better suited for that.
Right, yeah, no. I'm not about to do this game with you. Since you left a month and a week ago, have you given him any money for the children? I don't need an explanation either. It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right.
She's actually asked for money instead of given.
And then you have the nerve to ask for money and the kids are with him?
I mean, he has an obligation to give me support.
You know what? I'm not about to play with you. You came here to waste my time because you have the same obligation to your kids. He should not be paying you anything if the kids are with him majority of the time. If they're living with him, if he is the primary parent, he is tasked with the daily duties of caring for these kids. He shouldn't pay you anything.
And here comes the most shocking admission yet. She says having a child with autism is too much work, so she leaves it to him. That statement likely changed the emotional tone of the entire hearing. Judges understand parenting can be hard, but abandoning responsibility is another issue entirely. Then she asks why he shouldn't still support her financially. Would you have stayed calm after hearing that?
They are here. They are your responsibility just as much as they are his responsibility. So $60,000 a year. I have your gross set at $5,000. Your net is $4,101.87. Medicaid reimbursement based on 9% of your gross is $450. Do you think you can get health insurance through your employer that's cheaper than that for the children?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
You don't want to look into it?
Not really.
We work for the same company. Yes, she does.
Oh, okay. So this is what we'll do. You just go ahead and pay that, and you can roll your eyes all you want to. I can roll my eyes too. We're just going to have you reimburse Medicaid that full $450. So that brings your monthly child support obligation for 2 children to $1,025 plus the $450 reimbursement to Medicaid for $1,475. Now,
this may be the most damaging moment in the case. She openly says she didn't want the children because she wanted to party. But legally, once children are here, personal regret does not erase parental duty. The judge moves straight into numbers: income, insurance, reimbursement, and support calculations. That's how family court works. Emotion may explain behavior, but finances still follow responsibility. Now the consequences become real.
so you have arrearages in the amount of $1,475. That's to be paid at $25 a month. So your monthly child support obligation, including the back pay, is $1,500. You have any questions about anything I just said?
I mean, I just feel like it should be less. What am I going to be left with to party with? Like, what am I going to do?
I don't know, maybe pick up some extra shifts or work a part-time job.
Or take care of your kids.
You know, if she doesn't want to take care of her kids, I really don't care at this point. I just want to make sure he gets some financial assistance.
I mean, but he makes enough money.
And I mean, you make enough money too. So again, do you have any questions about anything I just said?
No.
Okay. You have any questions?
So in the end, the judge ordered roughly $1,500 monthly, including support and back pay, making one message crystal clear: parenting is not optional. This case wasn't just about money. It was about effort, sacrifice, and showing up for your children when life gets hard. The father stepped in, the mother stepped back, and the court responded accordingly. What do you think? Was the judge fair or too harsh? If this case stunned you, drop your thoughts below, like the video, and subscribe for more intense courtroom drama.
Rise. Judge Vonda B court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1016, Cheney case. Judge, both parties have been sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all may be seated. Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs. Cheney?
Mrs.
Mrs.
Yes,
Cheney.
remarried.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So we were friends. We went out for drinks after a promotion, and everybody else left. It left us two. Had a little too much to drink. Anyway, I ended up pregnant. He's completely out of the picture. Doesn't answer text calls, whatever. All of a sudden, he comes to me and says he wants to be a part of our kid's life. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to give me child support. I'm not just going to let you all of a sudden be dad, you know. And
How old is the child?
he's 18 months.
All right, guys, brace yourselves because this case starts with drinks after promotion and ends in a child support showdown. A mother says the father disappeared for over a year, then suddenly wants to play dad once the child is 18 months old. But when she asks for support, he offers daycare instead of direct child support. Now the judge is to untangle money, responsibility, and a delayed return to fatherhood. Is this a man trying to make things right, or trying to control the terms now that it suits him? Stay locked in, because this one gets tense fast.
He claims he only makes $24,000 a year. That adds up to almost half his income if that's what he actually said. I mean, this is not the way a guy who lives a life of $24,000. I mean, that suit probably costs like, I don't know, half that or something.
He has a nice suit.
I shop clearance.
Okay.
I do pretty well on sales.
He shops on clearance.
Okay. I've never seen that suit at JCPenney, but all right.
Okay. So $855 a month in daycare. You say you make $24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year, that is
And
correct.
I do have his tax returns that he produced showing $24,000 a year, but you're self-employed,
That is correct.
so you did your own tax return?
I do, yes.
So is it accurate, or did you manipulate it?
If you're questioning if I'm being honest in my tax returns,
Yes.
I am being
Right here, the mother raises a point many viewers instantly notice. The numbers don't seem to match the lifestyle. She questions how someone claiming just $24,000 a year can afford expensive clothes and still cover $855 monthly daycare. The judge also spots the key legal issue. He's self-employed, which often makes income harder to verify. That doesn't automatically mean fraud, but it does mean courts look closely. In child support cases, reported income and real spending habits can tell two very different stories. Do you believe his tax returns or her instincts?
It's kind of sketchy that he can afford almost $900 a month in daycare, but won't pay child support. I feel like there's something going on with the money situation. There's got to be a reason why he's doing things the way he does.
So you want him to pay $855 in daycare and child support?
I mean, he wants to be a part of his life.
That
for the
wasn't
first
my question.
Okay.
Do you want him to pay $855 in daycare as well as pay child support on top of that?
I want us to be able to talk and discuss and find a number that works for both of us and that I think is fair.
Okay.
Just because I make more money than him doesn't mean I should be covering all of the child's expenses. $855 is daycare.
I definitely agree with that. I agree with that. So what is the middle ground that you're looking for? Because legally he cannot pay daycare and child support. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So what would be a middle ground for you?
This is where the case becomes more emotional than financial. The mother admits she didn't fully understand the legal process. She wasn't demanding revenge. She was trying to figure out what was fair. Many people walk into family court thinking support, daycare, visitation, and custody all work the same way. They don't. The judge is forcing clarity here. You can't simply stack every expense without legal basis. Sometimes court isn't about winning money. It's about finally understanding your rights. Have you ever seen someone come to court just needing guidance?
Something you do not have to worry about. And you will have to reimburse her for the health insurance that she has on the child. So when you add the $855 plus the $113, it comes out to $968 a month in child support. So $968 would be all that he pays. And out of that, that would include whatever, if you change daycares, let me just make sure I'm very clear on this. If you change daycares and the amount goes up to $1,000, all he's responsible for is the $855 for the daycare. That's it. That's all you're responsible for. But the health insurance, if you have health insurance available through your job, you can enroll the child under health insurance and remove that $113 additional charge, and you'll be only responsible for $855.
To make sure I understand, so I'm already paying $855 a month as compared to the $349 that you calculated I should be responsible for. So now we're saying, well, instead of basing it off of $349, potentially lowering it, or
Now the emotional weight hits hard. She reminds the courtroom that during the first year, she paid everything alone. Hospital bills, baby expenses, all of it. Meanwhile, he admits he probably should have stepped in sooner. That honesty helps, but it doesn't erase lost time. In family court, judges often remember who carried the burden when no one was watching. Financial support matters, but presence matters too. This is the cost of showing up late. Can someone truly make up for missing the hardest first year?
I'm already paying 45% of my salary. I've got to pay now $968 a month, which is, again, more than double what I'm supposed to be paying in child support.
You've been paying, although it's 3 times the amount, you've been comfortably paying this. This isn't something that she necessarily, well, when I say comfortably, I don't know your financial situation, but you've been paying it for some time.
This ruling is powerful because the judge doesn't blindly follow the standard child support formula. Based on income alone, he'd owe around $349 monthly. But daycare changes everything. Since childcare is necessary for the child's well-being, the judge treats that as a valid reason to deviate upward. That means fairness beats math today. The final number lands at $968, with insurance included. He argues it's too much, but the judge sees he's already been paying most of it anyway. Sometimes court asks one question: what protects the child best right now?
With roommates and
Right.
TV
And I
dinners.
understand, but under Texas law, we can deviate from what the guideline support should be if we find good reason to do it. And daycare expenses, they are considered one of those reasons. Now, if you two, while you're here, you want to agree to a lesser amount, if you want to meet in the middle and say, let's say you decide to do 700, let's say you decide to say 750, that's what you can do. But based on what you all have been telling me, you've been paying daycare, it's $855. That would be in the best interest of the child to at least make sure that the daycare expense is covered.
So in the end, the judge prioritized stability over excuses and made sure daycare remained covered every month. The father got a path to be involved, but not without financial responsibility attached. The mother got clarity, structure, and support after carrying the load alone. This case proves family court often balances fairness, not feelings. Who do you think got the better outcome here? If this case shocked you, drop your thoughts below, like the video, and subscribe for more explosive courtroom drama.
All rise for support court with Judge Vonda B. Judge, this is case number JVB 2002, Miller case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay. Miss Miller, is it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Mrs. Miller, you brought this case before the court. What is going on?
This is my
Future
son's
daughter-in-law.
baby mama.
Future daughter-in-law.
And Tracy. So Tracy leaves the kids with me and didn't come back to check on the kids, haven't done anything, just dropped them off and took off and expects me to take care of the children with no money. She doesn't drop food off, she didn't leave any clothes, she didn't do anything. Tracy says she works all the time. That's what she tells me.
Okay.
That's where she is. So she hasn't done anything with the kids.
Okay.
And they're small kids. They're 3 and 4. I'm trying to deal with a 3 and 4-year-old while she runs around and does whatever Tracy decides she wants to do.
Okay. Is her name Tracy?
All right, guys, buckle up, because this case starts with a woman demanding more money from her ex-husband nearly 2 years after divorce. And she's not just asking for support. She's asking for compensation for stress, harassment, and what she says are nonstop headaches caused by him. But here's where it gets interesting. The judge immediately separates emotion from law. That's something many people don't expect in court. Feeling wronged and proving legal entitlement are two very different things. Now the big question becomes, is this a genuine financial hardship, or someone trying to reopen a chapter that was already closed? Stay with us, because this one turns sharply when the numbers come out.
Tracy,
just
what-
has bad
what's your
taste in
last
women.
name?
My name is Tracy Smith, Judge.
Smith. Okay.
Yes, and I'm prepared. I watch your court hearings on Zoom and the other
Kiss it
courts.
up. Are you really
So I'm-
kiss it up?
Excuse me. There is nothing wrong with watching hearings on Zoom. That's not kissing up.
It just sounds like a kiss up to me.
No, well,
that would be Tracy. That would be her.
Okay, Mrs. Miller, we're going to be nice and
Yes,
respectful.
I apologize,
It's not
Your
kissing up if
I
she is
apologize.
watching court on Zoom. That's why we live
Yeah,
stream, so
yeah.
you can watch it. And a lot of people watch it to get prepared. I see you have your notes there.
Yes,
I see
yes,
that she
yes.
has notes there. That's okay.
Yeah, it is okay, but I would watch it if I wasn't watching kids and kid shows. But that's because I got kids. But
Your
I
Honor, I don't know why she's so
understand.
mean to me.
Oh,
Like,
here
I
go the
don't
tears. Here go the
understand.
tears.
Okay,
Here go the
hold
tears.
on, Miss Smith. I'll get over to you in just a moment. Okay, now, Miss Miller,
This is a key legal moment right here. Miss Ellison describes horn honking at 3 a.m., workplace confrontations, and repeated harassment. Emotionally, those claims sound serious. But notice what the judge does. She explains that this court handles support issues, not restraining orders. That distinction matters. Courts have different powers, and filing in the wrong place can waste time fast. The judge doesn't ignore her concerns. She redirects her to the proper court and police channels. A lot of people confuse being in court with this judge can fix everything. But jurisdiction matters. Would you have known where to file?
how do you know their relationship?
My son tells me things.
Right. You
then-
only get it. Hear me out. You're only getting information from your son. And I'm not saying that your son is not being truthful, but that's just one side of it. It's always another
I mean,
side.
I see stuff.
And it seems like you're very passionate about your grandchildren.
Yes, I am.
So you should at least pretend to get along with their mother. I mean, she did drop the kids off to you, so she must trust you, right?
I don't say anything bad about her.
Wait a
to the
minute, wait a
children.
minute. She did trust you enough to drop the children off to you, right?
Or she had no one else. But
Okay, but even still, with having no one else, she could have put the kids with somebody that she really didn't know.
not
But
my grandchildren. She was.
That's my point. She trusted you enough to bring them to you.
Good point. Good point. Point
Okay.
taken. Point
Now,
taken.
isn't it fair to
It's probably my
say
son's idea.
part of your son's idea to do what?
Drop the children off to me. She probably didn't think about it.
Okay, is that a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing. I'm just saying she probably didn't contribute to that. It was probably his decision. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not following.
Now the emotional temperature rises. Miss Ellison argues her hours were cut while her ex keeps getting raises, bonuses, and success as a CEO. She says she supported the marriage, raised children, entertained guests, and kept the household running. So she deserves another $100 a week. That argument may feel morally persuasive, but family court often works on legal standards, not emotional fairness. Support modifications usually require material changes in need, ability, or circumstance, not simply resentment that the other person is doing better. Who do you think has the stronger point here? Hard work during marriage or finality after divorce?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Miller, is there anything else you want me to know? Well, before I go there, let me ask you a question. Did you all communicate at all about why the children were being dropped off to you?
My son is in the military.
Okay.
So Tracy, should be taking care of the children.
Okay.
But she got this new career that she has to worry about. So
That's a good thing, right?
If it keeps you away from your children, no.
Okay.
No.
And you said 6 months they've been with you.
6 months.
Was there a discussion about it being a temporary thing, or was it just permanent?
Temporary.
You told me it was going to be temporary.
I told your son it was going to be temporary.
You didn't tell me it was going to be temporary when you dropped them off.
Okay, so I see kind of what's going on here. Sounds like a lot of miscommunication. You're communicating with your son directly about.
This is where the judge begins dismantling the request with facts. She asks about expenses, car paid off, limited home payments left, utilities, normal living costs. Then she points out something crucial. Many of these expenses already existed when the original divorce order was made. That means they were likely considered before. Courts usually need new hardship, not the same bills repackaged as a new emergency. And notice the judge's tone, calm, direct, methodical. She's signaling that sympathy alone won't override the original settlement. This is the moment many weak cases begin collapsing.
She says she does.
Okay,
So that's false.
all right. That's not a legal objection either. So I'm going to allow her to finish because then maybe you can hear what an influencer is.
Okay.
All right.
That works.
All right. Continue.
So I don't get paid a lot. Mostly they just kind of cop the expenses and stuff while I'm growing my channel. Before he deployed about 7 months ago, and he did not want me to give up my growing career. I'm starting to get a lot of traction on social media, and so he told me that he talked to his mom and agreed that she would take care of the kids while I have to travel. And I don't travel for like a month at a time. I'm gone maybe 5 days to 7 days, and I'm back 2 or 3, and I get my kids, and then if I have to travel again, I leave them with her. You know, I don't have my mom. And so when I got in this relationship, I wanted to have a good relationship with her, and I don't know why she's so mean to me. Like, I have beautiful children with her son.
Then comes the twist that changes everything. The judge asks about the ex-husband's retirement account, and Miss Ellison admits she already received half, around $250,000. That number explains why the judge becomes firmer. Prior asset division matters. You can't usually collect a large share of marital assets, receive ongoing support, and then come back simply because the other spouse keeps succeeding financially. The judge's frustration shows when she says the court's time is being wasted. Harsh, maybe, but judges often react strongly when they feel someone is seeking emotion-based relief without legal grounds. Did that $250,000 revelation change your opinion of the case?
She's not paying. She doesn't give anything. She running around
What
talking
was
about
the agreement
doing
with
the
that?
job.
What is the wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Miss Smith, what was the agreement, if any, for financial support of these children while your husband was on deployment and you were traveling for work?
My fiance continues to pay some of the bills, like her phone bill, and I think he pays the internet and gives her money when he's there. But
Always done that.
I also drop off groceries for the days when she does watch them. But I want to let the court know, if she wants to completely destroy her relationship with her son and with my children,
what happens with me and my son?
children, I will pick them up and they will not be going back to her house. And this is why I
Threat.
can't.
Well, I
That
don't
was a
want you
threat.
to do
Object
that.
to a threat. Can I object to a threat?
Well, she didn't actually threaten you with
She said
anything.
she gonna take the kids and not let me see them
And that's
anymore.
not a legal objection.
Oh, well,
and
it's a
I mean,
threat.
you know, I would never recommend anybody to stop children from seeing the other parts of their family.
Right.
However,
Amen. Right.
you're going to have to play fair. You're going to have to play fair. If there was, according to this email, there's nothing in here that said any exchange of financial anything for the children from her to you.
So in the end, the judge dismisses the case completely. No increase. No extra $100 a week. No reopening old financial battles. The lesson here is powerful. Divorce settlements are meant to create closure, not endless renegotiation every time one person earns more later. If you want a modification, courts usually need real, provable legal change, not frustration, jealousy, or regret. What do you think? Was Miss Ellison unfairly struggling? Or was the judge right to shut this down fast? If this case surprised you, drop your thoughts below, like the video, and subscribe for more explosive courtroom drama.
All rise. Support court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1073, Ellison case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Ellison?
Yes.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I'm divorced from the person that didn't show up.
I see that.
Yes, and I'm here to ask the court for more spousal support. I've went part-time on my job. I'm no longer working full-time. I've lost money. And the man's done nothing but cause me trouble since we've been divorced. He does all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay.
And I deserve more money with all this harassment. Plus, I want a restraining order against him. This has to stop. My nerves are on edge. Can't take much more of it. But I think $100 a week extra for spousal support would be fair with all the, the headaches he's given me and everything like that.
You think it'll be fair?
Yes, I've left him alone. I don't go around him. It's him doing the harassing.
Okay. How long ago did you all get divorced?
It's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
He just
All right, guys, buckle up, because this case starts with cheating accusations, luxury living, and two very young children caught in the middle. Mrs. Harper says her husband's pool business is really an excuse to visit wealthy women in bikinis after hours. But as this courtroom unfolds, the real battle becomes bigger than infidelity. We're talking private school, a nanny, a $500,000 home, and one huge question: who pays when the lifestyle collapses? Watch closely, because the judge is about to separate emotion from entitlement in a very direct way.
Don't let go.
What is he doing to harass you?
Like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he drives around the house blowing his horn at all hours of the morning. He comes down to my work unannounced, goes right into where I'm working at, and wants to argue with me in front of coworkers. I mean, I could be fired for that. I mean, it's
Have you
totally
ever
ridiculous.
tried to call the police on him?
Well, by the time they get there, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, they've never caught him actually doing anything.
Okay.
He knows not to get caught, but I need a restraining order. That's the only thing that's really going to, I think, keep him away from me.
Okay.
And he found
well,
out
I don't do restraining orders in this court. You can go to another court and definitely request a restraining order, and I believe that's something you can do at your local police department too.
Okay, well, thank you. I didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. That is definitely that. Now, I can, if you qualify, obviously, for an increase in spousal maintenance, that is something that I can entertain. So let's talk about that. You said you believe $100, an extra $100 a week is fair.
Yes.
Why do you believe that's fair?
Here's where the case shifts from marriage drama to financial reality. Mrs. Harper isn't just asking to leave the marriage. She wants the same upscale lifestyle maintained immediately. Private school, nanny, and even a new home in the same neighborhood. Legally, courts focus on children's needs first, not preserving every luxury comfort. The judge is listening carefully because support is meant to stabilize lives, not guarantee endless privilege. Do you think she's protecting the kids or protecting the lifestyle?
Well, like I said, my wages have went down. I'm only working part-time now. We're doing layoffs and things like that. So
You said your wages.
Yeah, my wages
Okay.
are going down, and his are going up because he still gets those 2 raises every year. He's been with that company forever, and he makes good money. I don't make half of what he's making, and it's been really tough. I raised his children. I entertained his friends. I kept the house clean. I did everything that a good wife does. I think I deserve that extra $100 a week, and he can certainly afford it.
What does he do for a living?
He's a CEO for an oil company.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes really good money, bonuses and all that stuff. I mean, he's just raking it in.
How much is your spousal maintenance right now?
The spousal maintenance, it's about $325 a week, maybe.
Okay.
He doesn't pay on time either. It's not always on time.
Now Mr. Harper responds, and his strategy is clear: defend the money and attack credibility. He says client visits create referrals and grow the business, not affairs. Then he flips the narrative, claiming the nanny does most of the parenting, while his wife enjoys spa days and lunches. That matters because custody and spousal support often depend on each person's actual role in the home. This is no longer about texts from other women. It's about who carries responsibility behind closed doors. Who sounds more believable to you right now?
So he is late on that. I think that should be a penalty right there. He shouldn't be late.
Okay. What type of expenses do you have?
Well, I have rent. I'm still making the payments on the house. We, before we got divorced, we had it redecorated, carpet paneling on the outside, siding on the outside, all kinds of different things were added to it. And I'm making the payments on that still. I still got another 5 years for all those payments to be paid off. And then, I got food. My car's paid off, but, gasoline's expensive, the upkeep of the car, things like that, electric bills, water, everything like that. Not to mention entertainment. You can't expect me to sit around the house and watch TV all the time. I'd go out from time to time. That takes money.
Now, when you all were divorced 2 years ago, outside of spousal maintenance, were you awarded the home?
Yes, I was awarded the home. And he fought me on that, but I won it.
Okay. So you were awarded the home. You don't have a lot of payments left on it.
No.
The judge now starts testing both sides with practical questions. Education level, work history, parenting structure, even who cooks dinner. None of this is random. Courts examine earning ability when deciding temporary support. If someone can work, long-term dependence becomes a harder argument to win. You can feel the tone changing here. Sympathy is still present, but accountability is entering the room fast. This is where emotional stories often meet hard legal standards.
So I guess I'm confused as to why you're here, because you haven't said anything that will warrant an increase in your maintenance.
Well, I went down on hours from work. I mean, that's a financial burden.
Well,
And-
so you went down on
my
hours.
boss did. My boss did. I didn't do it. My boss made me take less hours.
Right, but nothing has really changed with a lot of your expenses. You said you don't have a car note. You have a little bit left on your home to pay off. Sounds like you're mainly paying utilities and then a mortgage.
And the insurance for the car. I mean, the insurance is always expensive. Gasoline prices always going up.
Right, but you had those expenses at the time that you were divorced, correct?
Yes.
When you all were divorced, did he have a 401k in existence? And this is Texas, which is a community property state, so I'm assuming you at least got 50% of that.
Yes, I did, but
Yes,
I don't think
no,
that
ma'am.
should be taken into consideration.
No, ma'am. It was taken into consideration the first time you received spousal maintenance.
And here comes the ruling. Structured, blunt, and expensive. The judge orders child support, continued nanny payments, private school costs, plus temporary spousal maintenance. But notice the balance. She refuses to make him pay the full mortgage alone. That sends a strong legal message. Support is assistance, not permanent sponsorship. The total lands around $6,800 a month. Yet even with that number, the wife is expected to rebuild and work. Fair decision or too generous?
You can't have me take it into consideration. Again, that's not fair, and it's definitely not the law.
His 2 raises every year. I don't get raises. My job's a very poor paying job. I'm uneducated. I mean, I'm gonna, my age, I'm not gonna find much now. I have to stay where I'm at. I feel like I'm trapped in this life.
And Ms. Ellison, I feel like you came here to waste my time, because I cannot give you an increase in spousal maintenance just because you're asking for it. No, ma'am.
25?
Even $5. The answer is no. So is there anything else that you needed from me here today? Because I cannot grant you spousal maintenance just because he's made an increase from his wages.
Well,
if that were the standard, then everyone would come in court asking for an increase.
Well, people need increases. I mean, women
and
living on their own, I mean, that's hard.
Let me ask you this question. When you all were divorced and you received half of his 401k, how much was that?
It was a nice piece.
Okay, what's a nice piece? Give me a number.
About $250,000.
Okay, well, you know what? If there's nothing further, your case is dismissed, and so are you. Thank you.
So in the end, the judge protected the children's stability while drawing a clear line against long-term dependency. She acknowledged the wife needs help now, but made it crystal clear that temporary support must lead to independence. That final warning about being spoiled may be the moment viewers remember most. This case proves family court isn't about emotion alone. It's about fairness, responsibility, and future effort. If this ruling surprised you, drop your verdict below, like the video, and subscribe for more real courtroom drama.
All rise. Support Court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1067, Harper case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Harper, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, basically, I am leaving Mr. Harper because I have reason to believe that he's been involved with other women, and we have 2 children. We've only been married 2 years,
Okay.
and I'm devastated.
All right. How old are your children?
They are 2 and 6 months.
Oh, you have little babies.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right. So you said you have reason to believe. What do you mean by that?
Well, we're in the pool business. My husband, soon to be ex-husband, is in the pool business, and he's going out to these pools after they're finished. I mean, these women are in their bikinis. They're laying out. Why does he need to be open?
All right, guys, brace yourselves, because this case starts like a child support claim, but quickly turns into something much deeper. Family resentment, broken communication, and a power struggle between a future mother-in-law and the woman her son plans to marry. At first glance, it sounds simple. Grandmother says she's been left raising 2 small children with no help. But as the story unfolds, you'll see this may not be about money at all. It may be about control, jealousy, and a relationship she never accepted from day one. Judge Vonda B immediately senses tension in the room. One woman is emotional, the other comes prepared with notes. And somewhere in the middle, 2 innocent kids, a deployed fiancé, and 6 months of silence. The real question is this: was grandmother used, or did she agree to help and later regret it? Stay locked in, because this courtroom is about to expose the truth.
Of these pools that have been put in, and they're texting him long after the pools have been put in.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what are you seeking here today?
Well, basically, I just can't bring my children up in this kind of situation. And I basically want to leave with the children. And, you know, he makes a lot of money. Our business makes a lot of money. But when I leave, I'm not going to have that. So I need to keep the lifestyle that my children and I have had. They go to private school, and we have a nanny. And so I need to continue that so that their lives aren't disturbed. And we live in a house, $500,000, and I need to maintain something similar so that it's not a big adjustment for any of us.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions. Private school, do you all pay tuition for that?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. How much is it?
This is where the case starts shifting fast. Notice how the grandmother stops focusing on child support and starts attacking Tracy personally, accusing her of trapping her son, lying, and being the wrong woman for him. That matters legally. Why? Because once the conversation becomes personal resentment instead of unpaid support, the court starts questioning motive. Child support court is for financial responsibility, not family revenge. Judge Vonda B smartly redirects the room and points out something powerful. If Tracy trusted her enough to leave the children there, then some level of family trust existed. That undercuts the claim that she was simply abandoned. Sometimes the strongest evidence isn't paperwork, it's behavior. Would you trust someone you believed was your enemy with your children?
Basically, I would like to buy one.
Okay.
So that we can maintain the same lifestyle that we've had.
Okay. If you were to buy a home, the homes that you were looking at, what are you looking at on mortgage?
About $3,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, I mean, I would think he would need to pay the majority of that.
Okay. So you want him to buy you a home? You and the children a home?
I mean, I would call it spousal support. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about any other bills that you would potentially have to pay?
So, you know, I think he should keep paying for the nanny and the private school.
Okay.
And, you know, I have been only working part-time. And of course, I would not want to keep working in the business with him and these customers who are still coming around. So I would have to find a job, and that could take.
Now the emotional truth starts coming out. The judge realizes this isn't just a money case. It's a mother who never accepted her son's relationship. When the grandmother mocks the engagement ring and says she had another girl picked out for him, the courtroom tension becomes crystal clear. This isn't about diapers or groceries anymore. This is about who she believes should be in her son's life. And legally, that's dangerous for her case. Courts look at intent. If you file support out of bitterness rather than genuine need, your credibility starts collapsing. Meanwhile, Tracy claims the fiancé doesn't even know this case was filed. If true, that's explosive, because now it looks like grandmother acted behind everyone's back. Who do you think caused the bigger problem here? Tracy's travel lifestyle or grandma's resentment?
Checking the dip.
I don't remember ever seeing that picture. So now I will say this. She has imagined a lot of stuff that goes on.
She has a good imagination.
Very good.
Oh,
and
okay.
she does work part-time as the secretary, but her primary job is to take care of the kids.
Okay, so you agree with everything she said about taking care of the kids and everything like that.
And she does a fairly good job when she's there.
Oh, what does that mean?
Primarily, the nanny does all the work for taking care of the kids.
Speaking of the nanny, how much do you pay her a month?
We're actually paying her probably a little less than what we deserve, but it's probably about $1,200 a month.
Okay.
And
so you make pretty good money. How much money do you make in this pool business?
Well, I've been averaging about $280 a year.
But it could be higher?
It could be.
Or it could be lower?
It depends on the market.
Okay.
He's not even being truthful about that. He makes over 300.
He makes over 300? Okay. Is that true, Mr. Harper?
No, that's not true.
So where did she get that from?
Well, I mean, it's her lifestyle. I mean, she likes going out and with her girlfriends and having her lunches and having her...
This section is critical because Tracy finally explains the arrangement. She says her fiancé, while deployed, asked his mother to help temporarily while she builds a travel content career. She says she rotates back, picks up the kids, brings groceries, and they plan this together. Now legally, that changes everything. If there was a mutual family agreement, then this is not abandonment. It's voluntary childcare support within a family system. Courts take that distinction seriously. The judge also notices something many viewers may miss. The son appears to be the communicator between both women, but he's absent overseas. That vacuum created confusion, assumptions, and hostility. Sometimes one missing voice can turn a family plan into a courtroom war.
Brought up in a good, wholesome environment.
Wholesome.
And she,
You're not
she
even
gives
home
everything
at
off to the
night.
nanny.
Ma'am, let him speak. I gave you an opportunity to speak. He did not interrupt you while you were speaking. I promise I will get back to you. Continue, Mr. Harper.
She doesn't, she pretty much hands everything off to the nanny and requires the nanny to take care of all that. She's got a pretty cozy lifestyle. We've got a nice house. I'd like to keep the kids, with me.
No.
And make sure they're taken care of because she's too busy taking care of herself.
All right. But your work schedule, would that permit you to have the children on a full-time basis?
It would be difficult, but I would see it made sure it happened.
So wouldn't it be in the best interest of the children for them to just stay with mom like they've always been doing?
Well, if mom would stay with them, yeah, I would agree with that. But it's like I said, it's primarily the nanny.
But you're paying for the nanny, so it would be the same difference if you were to have them. Well, no.
This may be the most decisive moment of the case. Judge Vonda B reviews the email and sees clear proof that grandmother agreed to help. Once that happens, the entire child support claim falls apart. Then comes the harsh reality check. The judge says this case wasted the court's time. Strong words, but legally understandable. Why? Because courts expect real disputes, not private family disagreements disguised as legal claims. She also says something deeper. Filing child support simply because you dislike the other parent makes life harder for families already under pressure. That's a message many people need to hear. The judge isn't just ruling on paperwork here. She's calling out misuse of the system.
Children. So if we multiply that by 25%, that brings your child support amount to $2,222.75. Now, your wife testified, and you really didn't disagree with her, that you testified about the nanny costing $1,200 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. The private school is $1,800 a month. I'm going to order that you keep paying that. Wife also testified that the mortgage potentially for the next home will be about $3,000. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that. I'm not going to order him to pay all of that because, ma'am, you will be working and you should be able to maintain something. I'm not going to have him just 100% take care of you. Spousal maintenance is to assist. It's not to help you, just live off of him for a long time. So spousal maintenance is going to be in the amount of $4,500. I gave you a credit for that $309 with the health insurance. So that brings your monthly obligation for child support and spousal maintenance to $6,800 a month. which I believe is pretty fair. I mean, you've been maintaining the nanny, you've been maintaining the private school. Nothing should change when it comes.
So in the end, the judge dismisses the case completely. No child support order, no payout, no victory for grandmother. Instead, the ruling makes one thing clear. She agreed to help, knew the circumstances, and could not turn that agreement into a legal weapon later. But beyond the law, this case leaves a bigger lesson. Families break down when communication gets replaced by assumptions, pride, and side battles. 2 adults were fighting, while 2 children depended on both of them. Judge Vonda B didn't just close the case. She tried to save a family conversation before it was too late. What would your verdict have been? Was Grandma justified, or was this pure bitterness? Drop your thoughts below, like, and subscribe for more explosive courtroom drama.
All rise. Support court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge's case number JVB 2003, Morris case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. All right, Mr. Morris, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I come to you today, Your Honor, because I'm trying to get my child support reduction.
Okay. All right. Based on what? Like, what's going on?
Well, I currently pay $880 a month for child support.
Okay.
I also pay $362 for health insurance. And I see my kids every maybe like 4 times a week.
Okay.
I see them pretty often. And she's trying to take my kids and move off to Florida.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm not going for that.
All right. Did she tell you why she was trying to move to Florida?
Because she just want to live her best life.
She said that?
That's what it is. She want to go to the beach, drink coconut balls or whatever they have out there in Florida, and just have her best life.
Okay, wait a minute. So did she actually?
All right, guys, brace yourselves, because this case starts off sounding almost funny, but it turns into a serious fight over money, parenting, and a mother trying to move out of state with the children. The father walks in asking for child support to be reduced, saying he already pays a lot and sees the kids often. But almost immediately, you can feel that this isn't just about money. There's breakup pain here, bitterness here, and a whole lot of blame still hanging in the air. What makes this case so interesting is that both parents are telling 2 completely different stories. He sees himself as a good father being treated unfairly. She sees him as inconsistent, selfish, and still not fully understanding what it takes to raise those children. And once Florida enters the conversation, the case stops being just about support and starts becoming about access, control, and consequences. Stay with this one, because Judge Vonda B is about to cut through the emotions and make a ruling that changes everything.
You know, I don't allow gum chewing in here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, it's okay. You can just put it to your back of your throat.
Yes,
I'm not
ma'am.
going to tell you to swallow it. I don't think that's really healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
But
It's
I
to the
have
back.
time for the story when you're ready, after you.
It's to the back right now, Your Honor. No more chewing for me.
Okay.
So,
Continue.
long story short, I met this lady our freshman year of college.
Okay.
And we were in class, and she was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back. And I saw her, and I said, man, I'm going to have to put my bid in as soon as class is over.
Bid, that's what they call it these
Yeah,
days. Okay.
we call it put your bid in. Because,
All
I'm
right.
sure there's other people that put their bid in too. So if I got the highest bid, of course, I'm a getter,
Oh, so
So-
you subcontracting these things now.
I was, yeah. At that time, I was subcontracting, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Right.
Keep going.
So I saw her in the hall, and I came to her, and my bid won. And we was together for years, Your Honor. We were together for years. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 10.
This section matters because the father's story reveals more than he probably intended. He tries to explain the breakup casually, even joking about bids. But the judge is listening for something deeper. And what comes through is a man framing a family like a transaction instead of a responsibility. Legally, cheating does not decide child support, but emotionally, it affects credibility in court. The moment he admits he messed up, viewers start to see why this case is really about the fallout of broken trust. Do you think he was being honest here? Or just trying to soften the damage after the fact?
And they not on child support. I see my kids multiple times through the week, and I'm paying $880 a month.
Okay. Fair enough. I believe I have majority of what I needed. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted me to know before I move over to her?
No, that's about it, Your Honor. That's
Okay.
about it.
All right. All right. Ma'am, and give me your last name.
It's Adams with two D's.
Adams with two D's. Okay. All right. Mrs. Adams or Miss Adams.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Adams. So tell me about, so this story that he told, he actually, you know, you won the bid. Or he won the bid.
Well, I think that tells you everything you need to know about his view of relationships is very transactional.
Oh, yeah. That's the word I was looking for. That's it. Transactional.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very much I do this and you do that, and I think the fact that he didn't even bother to mention our children's names should tell you everything about our relationship.
Well, he told me the ages.
Yeah, well, that's great. Robert and Madison.
Now the mother steps in, and the energy shifts fast. She is not just defending the money. She is defending the daily labor of raising two children. And that's important, because child support is not a fee a parent pays for visitation rights. It is supposed to help cover the actual cost of the children's lives. Housing, food, clothing, bills, and routine care. Her biggest point is simple. Seeing the kids sometimes is not the same as carrying the real burden of parenting. So at this point, whose side are you leaning toward? The parent paying, or the parent doing most of the day-to-day work?
An opportunity to speak. Let me hear what she has to say.
You're right,
and
Judge,
people can change dreams. I mean, depending on how long you guys have been apart, a lot could have changed in her life.
It's just she taking my kids, Judge.
Okay, well, let's hear what she has to say.
You're right. You're right.
She said marine biologist, right?
Yes.
That sounds like a really good job, and I want to hear about it. See how much money she makes.
She
all
just
right?
having random dreams, Judge, but it's all
Okay,
good.
that's great, but I need to see how much money she's making.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Yeah, less talking, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now, continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And, you know, it's so interesting to me that he says that he sees the kids 4 times a week. I guess he's talking about maybe a FaceTime call or seeing them on his phone screen, because I certainly don't see him picking up the kids and taking them to the doctor and cleaning up vomit.
This is where the case becomes more concrete, because now the court moves from emotion into numbers. The mother explains that Florida will cost more. Higher rent, added insurance, food expenses, and a home set up for 2 growing children. Whether viewers agree with every expense or not, the legal point is clear. Child support is tied to the children's needs, not the paying parent's frustration. And Judge Vonda B is testing whether this money is truly supporting the kids or just covering lifestyle choices. That question is critical, because once support gets challenged, the court has to separate necessity from preference. Would you have questioned those expenses too? Or did her explanation make sense to you?
Okay, so Miss Adams, you said that your rent is going up $800.
Yeah.
You have to pay flood insurance. The children's diet, they eat organic food and they're vegan. Okay, so are you using the child support for flood insurance and rent too, or are you using it to feed the kids? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you're saying in regards to his request to get a reduction.
Yes, Your Honor. So the thing is that if I was living in a 1-bedroom because I was by myself, my rent would be a lot lower.
All right.
But I have to get a 3-bedroom because I have a boy and a girl, and I don't want them sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I have to get a 3-bedroom, and so it's not just that, it's my electric bill, it's cell phones, because our 5-year-old has a cell phone, so now I have to make sure that we've got her a phone line so you can talk to her dad so he can...
Here comes the turning point, and this is where the mother's case starts to collapse. She admits she accepted the Florida job and made plans to move without properly getting court approval first. That is a huge problem, because once custody orders include geographic limits, a parent cannot just rely on internet advice and relocate. Judge Vonda B makes a sharp legal distinction here. This is not a custody court, but the move still affects the father's access to the children. So instead of simply reducing support, the judge goes further and removes child support altogether, saying that money can now be used for travel to maintain the father's relationship with the kids. Was that fair accountability for violating the order? Or do you think the kids ended up paying the price?
Because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're consistent, the reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, and did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support, he can use.
So in the end, Judge Vonda B leaves the health insurance in place, but completely takes the father off child support after the mother's unauthorized move to Florida. That ruling sends a strong message. When one parent makes a major decision that disrupts the other parent's access, the financial arrangement can change fast. Emotionally, this case was full of resentment, sarcasm, and old wounds. But legally, the turning point was simple. She moved without properly going through the court. The father walked in asking for a reduction, and walked out with something much bigger. But the real question is whether this ruling truly helps the children in the long run. Drop your thoughts below. Let us know who you think made the stronger case, and subscribe for more explosive courtroom drama.
All rise. Support court with Judge Vonda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1062, Henry case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Miss Henry.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Henry, excuse me. You
Yes.
brought this case before the court.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
going on?
Well, I'm bringing my husband, hopefully ex-husband soon, for child support. He roughly pays about $1,000 a month, and I feel he should be paying more because he makes more. He makes more than I do.
Okay, but he's not under a court order, right?
No, ma'am. He just gives
So
me.
he voluntarily gives you $1,000 a month for child support.
Yes, and exactly voluntarily gives me money. Every
But
now and
that's
then.
a good thing, right?
Every now and then he gives me money, and most time I'm begging for him to give me money.
Still get it?
So what's going on? Like, fill me in.
All right, everyone, buckle up, because this case starts like a routine child support dispute, but it quickly turns into something much deeper. A wife brings her soon-to-be ex-husband to court demanding more money for their children. On the surface, that may sound reasonable, but once the judge starts asking questions, the facts begin shifting fast. He's already paying voluntarily. The children are in private school, and there's a shared custody schedule. So the real question becomes, is this about financial need or something personal? Stay with this one, because what happens next completely changes the energy in the courtroom.
Between the two of you.
He has the kids Sunday through Wednesday.
That's split.
He's still.
So let me just make sure I got this straight. He's voluntarily giving you $1,000 a month for child support,
Yes,
correct?
That's correct.
He has the children, you said Sunday through Wednesday?
Yes,
Which means you have them Wednesday through Sunday.
that's correct.
Who pays health insurance?
I do, Your Honor.
How much is
I
health
was
insurance?
It's roughly $309 a month. And she asked me a question.
But
All
she's
right.
still talking to me though.
Okay, I did ask him a question.
Okay.
So everything that I just repeated back to you is accurate, right?
He has money. He's spending on other
That wasn't my
women.
question. Everything that I just repeated back to you is accurate, right?
Pretty much.
So I'm confused as to why you're here. Are you trying to put him on you
I want to
won't-
put. Yes, I want to put him on.
you want to put him on child support
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the one.
This is where the judge starts spotting a major issue. The father is already paying $1,000 monthly with no court order forcing him to do it. That matters legally, because voluntary support often shows willingness to provide. Then we learn custody is nearly split, meaning both parents share daily expenses. So now the mother must prove the children truly need more, not just that she wants more. Would you have filed this case, knowing those facts were coming out in court?
Okay.
Now, help me make sense of this. You give her $1,000 a month for the children. You pay health insurance. You all have a split schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm missing something. Like, what is the issue? Why are we here? Because I would think that you bring someone to child support court if they're not doing something. I do understand making it legal, putting it in a document, but you're asking for more money. So I'm trying to get the disconnect here.
Because
So
like
what
I said,
it
he
is,
has
Your
other
Honor,
women he's spending money on.
She never lets me talk, so.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk.
Exactly.
Okay.
What it is, Your Honor, she's, she didn't mention this, but she's engaged.
Wow.
And she just found out that I'm recently dating, so now she's mad at me.
Oh, I'm mad.
There
I'm
goes
mad.
the
Very mad.
conflict.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
There goes the conflict.
I'm
Now
not
I
mad.
asked what was the disconnect here. It was something missing. So you brought him to court because he has a new girlfriend
No, man, I'm not
That's
mad
exactly
about
why, Your Honor.
and you're engaged.
Now the judge does what strong judges often do. She looks past emotion and follows logic. The father pays support, covers health insurance, and shares parenting time. So why are they really here? Then the father reveals a possible motive, jealousy over his new relationship. If true, that changes everything. Courts are for child welfare, not personal revenge. And once a judge feels someone is using the system emotionally, credibility drops fast. Do you think his explanation was believable?
spending all
Quite
the money.
frankly, you shouldn't care. You have a whole nother man that you should be worried about, and you over
understand
here
that.
all in his business.
I'm not trying to be
And
in
he
his
doesn't
business.
even
You
work there.
are trying to be in his business because you have mentioned it twice that he has other women. His
Yes.
other women has nothing to do with this case.
it
So
really
you can
does,
pipe
Your Honor.
down
It really
and stop
does.
bringing that up. It has nothing to do with
Okay.
it. Well, let
It
me
really
say it
does.
like this. It is not going to have an impact on my decision today.
Wow. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Now, so you have a new girlfriend and she's in her feelings about it. Okay?
She always try to come by to see if she's there. If she sees us out, she always try to come make a hostile environment.
Did your fiance come to court today?
No, he didn't.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Because if what he's saying is true, that's not a good look.
I am not jealous. I'm not hating. I'm not coming by the house or anything looking for him.
Okay.
So again, the disconnect is
Stop spending them.
This is where the courtroom tension explodes. The mother keeps bringing up other women. Even after being warned it doesn't affect support calculations. That's critical. Judges decide based on income, custody time, and children's needs, not dating drama. Every interruption here hurts her case more and more. Instead of proving financial hardship, she's proving emotional frustration. Sometimes the strongest evidence is what someone cannot stop talking about.
What?
You're not taking care of them.
You don't know that.
I do.
Miss Henry. Miss Henry.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
obviously came here to waste my time.
No,
okay?
no, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
No,
Yes, you
no,
did. You are asking for more money, and he's giving just that. He's giving $1,000. He's covering the kids' tuition.
So what about clothing?
Y'all have a split schedule.
I
He
buy
needs
them.
to
I got
maintain
clothes at my
clothing.
house.
Excuse me,
Please,
Mr.
you
Henry.
bring the
Excuse me.
kids
Give me a
back
minute.
home and they
Give me a
look
minute.
just-
Here's the reality of it. You all have a split schedule. You need to be providing clothing and everything for your home. You need to be providing clothing and everything for your home. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to order anybody to pay child support. What I'm going to do is that you testified to this. You said tuition was $1,000.
Yes.
$500 per child. So you know what? You're going to pay $500
Wow.
and he's going to pay
Judge.
$500 directly to the school.
And here comes the twist no one expected. Instead of increasing support, the judge reduces the father's burden. She orders each parent to pay $500 directly to the school, splitting tuition evenly. That means the mother asked for more money and walked away with less control. The judge also keeps fairness front and center because parenting time is shared. This is a reminder that filing a weak case can sometimes backfire harder than staying home.
That's
That
you
is
make
right.
more money than I do, and you hadn't.
And you're going to keep maintaining the health insurance, okay? Now,
Thank
if you decide to get private health insurance on your own through your employer, you're obviously, you know, you can do that. The children can be double insured. But
True.
I'm not going to have him pay more than $1,000 or even continue paying $1,000 when, based on both of your testimony, you have a split schedule. That's what's in the best interest of the children, and that's what's fair.
Fair?
That is fair.
That's not fair.
Well, it is fair today. Did you have anything else?
You got it. You got it.
It's always about me, right?
It is.
I asked you a question. Did you have anything further for today?
No, I don't.
Okay, Mr.
Just
Henry,
when
did
you
you
bring
have?
the kids back home, make sure they're dressed properly, please.
I bring them back with what they came with.
What? Okay.
Okay, well, Mr. Henry, is there anything further?
That's it, Your Honor.
If there's nothing further, you all are